right? So see, whatever we have studied till now in SQL, right? So the in SQL we have already discussed about the characteristic of SQL, advantages of SQL, SQL data type, literals, type of SQL commands, right? SQL operation, their procedures, table, views, and indexes, right? Query, subquery, aggregate function, insert, update, delete, operation, join, union, intersection, minus, right? All this, right? After that, PLSQL will be started, right? But you have see, you can see here, only there are three topics which are very useful in a PLSQL that may be asked in the final exam. Whatever we have done in a PSQL, this is the basics, right? So we have to start with the how we can use the variables, how to read the data, how to write the information, how to insert the data into the table, how we can use the different kinds of looping statement and control statement, right? But all this, whatever any question is asked from the PLSQL, they are asked from the cursor, triggers, and procedures and functions, right? So these are three important topics which are very useful in PLSQL as per the UPTU exam, AKTU exam, right? But whatever we have done till now in PLSQL, these all things are asked in the interview, right? Whenever you appear in an interview, right, you have to be just give the answer related to the PLSQL. Now, so it's important topic that is cursor. So today we will discuss about the cursor, what are the different of type of cursor, why we use the cursor, right? And how we can use this cursor to retrieve the information, right? So uh, going with the cursor and all. So last time we have seen how we can create the functions, right? Creating function and we pass some parameter and it will return some value. So we have to define their data type is an as keyword is used for defining the body of the function, right? And we write any statement, executable statement within the begin and end. And after that, we have to end that. And this function is called in the main program and we have to check this. So we have seen how we can do the recursive function like the how to compute the uh, compute the factorial and how we can use this function as a recursive function. When a function is called itself, then it is called a recursive function, right? Even we have seen how we can use this to find the different aspects of a relation and we call it and display the numbers, right? So till now we have all seen this. Now we are moving towards the cursor. So PLSQL cursor. See, cursor is just similar to the pointer which is used in any procedural programming language, that right? And you know about the pointer. Pointer का काम क्या था? कोई बताएगा? Pointer का use क्या था?
Points to the address of
And to the address of what?
the variable used in the function.
Point to the address of the memory space, right? Where a variable keep the data, right? Variable, the address of any variable or address of any identifier, right? So pointer is nothing but is a kind of a address that will locate any variable, right? So similar to that, in a PLSQL, we have a cursor. So Oracle creates a memory area known as the context area for processing any SQL statement, which contain all the information needed for processing the statement, right? For example, we say about see if we have a we write any SQL statement and we write in a SQL statement one of the form that is select, then we write from, and then we write where, right? We write any statement select. So in a select statement, whatever the data you want to extract, we have to use those attributes or all the records. So in the case of select from all the tables, there may be one table, there may be more than one table, where clause is used for filtering that data, right? So when we run this query basically generates some rows. There may be a single row, right? Or there may be more than one row, right? More than one row. So when it is represent only a single row, that means in every case, whether it is single row or more than one row, right? There is a memory space, right, is created in the system, right? Like single space, oh, yeah, or there are number of records in that, right? So basically, the memory space, this memory space is known as the context area. क्या कहलाता है? It is known as the context area. Right? So pointer, or here in a PL/SQL we call it cursor, that will just define the particular memory area or context area that contain the related to the select स्टेटमेंट और क्वेरीड स्टेटमेंट. जो भी आपने क्वेरीज की है उसके रिस्पेक्ट में आपको क्या होगा, एक मेमोरी एरिया क्रिएट होगी और उस एरिया को पॉइंट करने के लिए एक कर्सर क्रिएट हो जाएगा. क्लियर हो रही है बात? कर्सर इज नथिंग बट इज अ काइंड ऑफ ए pointer that will basically locate the context area that is generated or defined using any select statement, right? Uni any SQL statement. Now come to that again. So we call it, in a case of the PL/SQL cursor, cursor is a pointer to this context area. PL/SQL control the context area through a cursor, right? All this, the data is controlled using this pointer that is called cursor. A cursor holds the rows, there may be one or more, written by the SQL statement. The set of rows the cursor hold is referred to as the active data or active set. Example के तौर पे बात करें. See, if there is only a single row, for example, this is a single row. So whatever the data it is returned, that will hold by a cursor currently. So whenever we do any insert operation or update operation or any delete operation, right? What will we do in that? Insert, update, and delete. These all are the DML statement, right? So in case of all these statements, so what the data you want to insert into, or what kind of row or set of row are updated, all these information are stored in this cursor, whatever you cursor you have created, right? Or just a kind of a, like in the case of the pointer, you have to create the pointer variable. So here also we have to create the cursor. So cursor will just locate what kind of data you want to insert, what is the information of the rows that will be updated or deleted. All right. So all this is again done in using the PL/SQL cursor. So there are two kinds of cursor. One is called the implicit cursor, another is called the explicit cursor. कितने टाइप के cursor होता है? Two. One is implicit cursor, another is explicit cursor. So what is implicit cursor? Implicit cursor are automatically created by the Oracle whenever an SQL statement is executed. Is it clear to all? What is implicit cursor are automatically created. So whenever we write any SQL statement, you have seen it will return some value, it will return some data, it will return some rows. In that time, so your cursor is automatically created and it will return some value. For example, if we say about in a SQL statement, let's clear this screen. It'd be right. Select, select for SSN, then first name, right? And suppose salary and department number, right? Department number. So this information we want to just extract, right, from the this table we have already created, that is employee table, right? So employee, right? So see, this is the data that is represented by the SQL statement, right? This SQL statement that is select from table, right? So by default, you have seen this data is one by one extracted from the table and gone to this. And after that, it automatically gone to the SQL form, right? So that means in this already a pointer is there that will wherever this space is created for the memory to display it, it will automatically updated and one by one it is just represent your data, right? So similar way, implicit cursor is just kind of an automatically created cursor, right? Whenever an SQL statement is executed. So you have seen when all this uh, SQL statement done, right? It is done automatically and there is no control over it. See, you can't just stop in between to print the different rows. You just one by one you have seen a whole value, whole records are displayed at a time because programmer have no control over it, right? So all this is displayed. So in case of the implicit cursor, programmers cannot control the implicit cursor and the information in it, right? So whenever a DML statement, as we have already talked, insert, update, and delete is issued, an implicit cursor is associated with these statements. For insert operation, the cursor holds the data that need to be inserted into the table or relation. While in case of the update and delete operation, the cursor identifies the rows that would be affected by the cursor. So it is clear ki what is in this implicit cursor? Implicit cursor is just a automatically created cursor, right? Oracle created it automatically whenever an SQL statement is executed. And there is no control over the program. So what can we do with this as we have no control, right, over this implicit cursor? So there are some attributes which are associated with the implicit cursor. These attributes are called found, percent not found, percent is open, and percent true count. There are four attributes that will be associated with implicit cursor. One is called percent found, right? This percent found basically provide the true value whenever an SQL statement returns one or more rows. Clear this point? So it returns true if an insert, update, or delete statement affected one or more rows or a select into statement return one or more rows. Otherwise, it returns false. Clear this point? What is the meaning of this? That means if any statement just returns some rows, then this percent found attribute becomes true. Otherwise, it is false. While in the case of the not found, it is just opposite to the found attribute. In a not found, that means no row is affected, right? In that case, the it returns true if an insert, update, or delete statement affected no rows, or a select into statement returned no rows, otherwise it returns false. हेलो, कौन थे ये? चलिए कोई नहीं, क्रॉस कर लिया। राइट, नाउ third kind of attribute that is called is open. Percent is open is used whether to check whether your cursor is open or not. But in case of the implicit cursor, because programmer has no control, so is in the case of the implicit cursor, it is always a false. क्या रहेगा? False रहेगा. Always return false for implicit cursor because Oracle closes the SQL cursor automatically after executing its associated SQL statement, right? And last one, that is row count. This will basically return the number of rows affected by an insert, update, or delete statement, or written by a select into statement. So these are the 4 different kinds of attribute which are used in cursor, and how we can use these all attribute in case of the in a program, in a PLSQL program. So here we have a one PLSQL program, right? And that will update the table and increase the salary of each employee by 500 or 1000, whatever you want it, employee by 500, and use the SQL percent row count. This is a attribute. Basically, we have seen already implicit cursor is a SQL generated automatically cursor. So this percent row count is an attribute will be associated with the SQL object, right? So we have to database object is SQL. So in that way, SQL percent row count, it will return the number of rows are affected when we update the query. What update query is used? Update what? The salary of each employee by 500, right? Use this attribute to determine the number of rows affected, right? So how to do it? We have already, I have created a program, right? See, just see here, to use of all different kind of attribute associated with the implicit cursor. So as we know how many rows are affected, so that will return some value. So for that we have taken a variable that is total number of rows, right? Total number of rows. So we have defined it. We have to define with their type. So we have taken as a number. Fine. So now your main program will be started here. See, we have to, as we have to update your salary, right? In case of update the salary by 500 or 1000, okay, update. So employee is updated, and we have said salary is equivalent to salary plus, as question is 500, so let it is 500, right? Chale. So set salary equivalent to salary plus 500, and this salary is for all. So all के लिए हमने कर दिया set salary equivalent to salary plus 500. And if you want to update only department number 13, then is okay. So here we have to write what? The where statement. So where department number equivalent to 13. That means department number 13 salary will be updated by 500, right? Now we are using some attribute. Check whether what these attributes are doing. See, we are using if statement here, and we are writing the if SQL percent not found. SQL percent not found. That means if it is true, then we have to print no employee record is updated. No employee record is updated, right? no employee record is updated, because this is true. That means whatever the SQL statement you have seen, this is not returning any value, not returning any record. If it is not returning any record, that means this attribute must be true, because we are associating the not found. So this not found, that means it is true, and hence it will print the no employee record is updated. Now, if that is not true, so we have to use else. If SQL percent found, that means this query returns some records. If this query returns some records, so in that case, SQL percent found will be true. In that case, we have to print total rows, because we want to compute how many rows are affected when we run this query. So we have to use total rows equivalent to SQL percent count. And here we can print one more thing, that is total rows. How many rows are updated? So total 4 employees salary, जितने भी salary, ROAs, whatever you want to write, updated, right? And we have to end it, and we have also ended this program, right? So we just copy it and paste it into the SQL form, right? Before this, we just want to check what are the different employee and what is their salary. चलिए कर लेते हैं.
सर
क्या
सर परसेंट रो काउंट एक बार फिर से बता दीजिए.
जैसे percent row count is an attribute which is associated with the SQL cursor, that will basically provide the number of rows affected by the select or whatever SQL statement. Here we have seen how many rows are updated, because we are updating something in that, right? How many rows are updated, and this row count will provide that, right? So row count basically provide the number of rows are affected. कि how many rows are affected, that will just provide you, right? Check करते हैं, इसको करके देखते हैं, अभी आप clear और हो जाएगा. So before that, just we want to say कि what are the different kind of employees. See here, in a department, in this data, you have seen there are how many employees that working for the department number 13. How many employees are there? Tell me. There are 4 employees, right?
4.
1 is for 11. So see here, whatever the salary is there, right? Now we just call it this program, just execute this program, PLSQL program, right? And now see. See, this output is showing here. We have 4 employees' salaries are updated. Okay? Department number 13, we have how many? There are 4 employees. So see, this SQL row count is just returning the what total number of employees affected in that, right? Check कर लेते हैं क्या बिल्कुल सही है ये. So see here, just we are using this and we are writing it. Select SSN, first name, salary, department number from employee, where department number is equivalent to 30. Check करें. Here, earlier for the 13 department employees, the salary was 90,964. Now, what the salary is updated 50. 500 is there. So 500 add करिए, देखिए change हो गई. ये भी change हो गई. That means how many rows are affected? There are 4 rows are affected. So SQL row count will basically return that value, right? The number of rows affected during the SQL statement in the cursor, and you use this cursor actively. Clear हो रही बात? Similar to that, if we say suppose हमारे पास 12 है, right? Department number 12, right? And we want to check this. See, in that case, no employee record is updated. That means we are moving it this because there is no employee that belong to department number 12. So in that case, SQL not found will be true, and then if statement will be executed, and in this case, no employee record is updated, is printed. So it is no employee record is updated, and here we have to terminate it. ये बात clear हो रही सभी को? What are the different kinds of attribute that is associated with the implicit cursor? Right? And what is the disadvantage of the implicit cursor? कोई बताएगा? What is the disadvantage you have seen? Anyone?
सर टेम्पररी होता है।
जो देखिए पॉइंटर का काम क्या होता है कि आपके अकॉर्डिंग आप डेटा पे, जिस डेटा पे आप काम करना चाहें उस डेटा पे आप काम कर सकें, बट यहाँ पे प्रोग्रामिंग का कंट्रोल ही नहीं है। प्रोग्रामिंग का कंट्रोल किसके पास है? ओरेकल के डीबीए के पास। वो जो आपने आउटपुट दिया वही आउटपुट आपका रिटर्न हो गया, ठीक। बट वी कांट डू, वी कैन जस्ट use that information using their attribute like the percent found, percent not found, percent row count, percent is open, right? So these are the some attributes. So come to that, the different kind of next one is the kind of a explicit cursor. In case of the explicit cursor, programmer having more options to control it, right? And you can see these are the user of programmer defined cursor, and whenever you create the programmer defined cursor, it will provide you more control over the context area where the SQL return your result. There may be one record, there may be more than one record. So whenever we use the explicit cursor, we must declare it because it is a user defined or programmer defined. So we have to create it like in a C programming or procedural programming language, you just create the pointer variable, right? To define what is the type of that pointer variable, what the address which occupied by that pointer variable, you also assign it, right? Similarly, in PLSQL, we have to declare it first. So declaring or creating a cursor, it is done under the declaration part of the PLSQL statement, right? So an explicit cursor should be defined in the declaration section of the PLSQL block. It is created on a select statement which returns more than one row. And how we can create it? We can create using this syntax, like we write the cursor, that is the keyword, then we define the cursor name. What is the name of that cursor? Is keyword is used, so that we have to write the select statement. Over this select statement, this cursor is created. That cursor now point to the rows written by this select statement, right? So how we can use this explicit cursor, and what is the advantages of explicit cursor? So you can see explicit cursor are user defined, hence they give you more programmatic control on your program, while implicit cursor cannot do, right? It is an automatically created cursor. But in case of the explicit cursor, it is created by the programmer. Explicit cursor are more efficient as compared to the implicit cursor, as in latter cases it is hard to track data error. That means during the implicit cursor, if there exists any error, we can't track all those errors. But in the case of the explicit cursor, you can trace the error. So what are the steps involved with the explicit cursor? So there are 4 steps. One is called the declare it first, then open the cursor, then fetch the cursor, and then close. So one by one, we just how we can use the cursor in PLSQL statements. So first of all, we have to declare it. So declaring the cursor for initializing the memory. What is the syntax? So see here the syntax. We can write cursor, then cursor name. Is the keyword that we use for what is the select statement, right? So here we write the select or SQL statement. So over that SQL statement, the cursor is defined. It basically initializing the memory for the cursor. Now we have to open this cursor for allocating the memory, and we write here open then cursor name, open and cursor name. Then we have to fetch the cursor for retrieving the data, right? So fetching the cursor is done using the syntax that is fetch cursor name into PLSQL variable or PLSQL record, right? So whatever the cursor name is created over that, you have to, whatever the data you want to retrieve, that data is now inserted into the cursor. Now, once you have done with all cursor activities, right, you have to close the cursor so that you can release the allocated memory. That is released using the close cursor name. What we say here, we have to close the cursor so that the allocated memory for the cursor is deleted, right? So these are the 4 steps involved in explicit cursor. And now one more thing, whatever the attribute we have seen in case of the implicit cursor, these attributes are also used with the explicit cursor. To find percent found is used for finding return true if insert, update, or any delete statement affected one or more rows. Similar case for the for not found is open, and we have to row count is also here. In case of the explicit cursor is open, play an important role. It will check if percent is open is with the cursor, right? Cursor name, then it may provide true or false, right? If true if the cursor is open, otherwise it will return false. But in case of the implicit cursor, if percent is open, it always return the false. Now, so when we use this cursor in your PLSQL program, so cursor declaration is always done in the declaration part, while other 3 things like open the cursor, fetch the cursor, and close the cursor, all will be done in the main part of the program, that is begin and within the begin and end statement, right? So just an example for this. See here. I have created one of the cursor, that is employee cursor, right? So here the name of the cursor is employee cursor. And this employee cursor is basically point out the SQL statement, and here we have writing the SQL statement, that is SSN, first name, last name, address from employee. That means what is the data we want to extract here? We have to extract the social security number, first name, last name, and address. So these 4 attribute values are extracted from the employee, and all this, whatever the context area we have created for restoring all these values, we have created a cursor, that is employee cursor, right? So this is our employee cursor. This is an explicit cursor because it is created by the user, right? Now, once we want to use this cursor in my PLSQL program, we have to open it using the open statement, right? Open the employee. So this is the open employee cursor, right? To fetch the information, like what are the information we want to fetch? So we have to, want to fetch the information SSN. We want to fetch the information regarding the first name, last name, and address. So for this, we have to create the variables, right? So variable will hold the information that is in these attribute, right? So we have to use the fetch syntax. So fetch syntax basically fetch the information that is pointed by this cursor, that is employee cursor, into first information at this CID variable, then see cursor first name, cursor's last name, cursor address. So all these information are stored into these variables. And once you get all the information displayed or whatever you want to do any operation, then after that you must close it, because to release the memory which is occupied by this cursor, right? So how to use all these four syntax in your program? So let we have a defining it here. So already we have created this program in the previous class. That's why we have just again show you. So here, what we want to do, as we have to extract the information, SSN, first name, last name, and address. So we have to create four different data, different variables. See, this information is what? It is a employee SSN. So we have associated the data type, that is employee.ssn percent type. Employee.ssn percent type to CID. See first name. So whatever the data type of this, so we have to associate it the first name data type. So here employee.first name data percent type. Similar case in the case of SE underscore last name. So here we have to just provide the employee last name data type to C last name, C underscore last name, right? So we have done it in that. Similar case, C address, the data type is just the data type of the address of employee. So employee dot address percent type is there, right? So all these variables are declared. After that, we have declared the cursor. Now we use this cursor to get the information. So we have to use the begin statement, and here we have to first of all to accessing the data through the cursor, we have to open it first. So open cursor, that is employee cursor, and after that one by one we want to fetch the data. So in that case, fetch C employee into C ID, C first name, C last name, C address. So all the information that is written, right, using this select statement, right? Using this select statement will be now in a case of in this information, right? And here we just because there may be one record, there may be more than one record, there may be more than one record. In that sense, we have to create the loop statement. So loop will be continued till record found. So it will exit when C employee person not found will be true. यानी कि अगर कोई भी employee record return नहीं करता है तो ये loop exit हो जाए, or whatever the information you want to enter, so this will be you want to print. So I have printed all those information, right? So see here, we just want to print the last name in that, right? And so loop will be ended, and this begin statement will also be ended, right? So we just copy it and then we run it into my SQL prompt. Check it. See. So we have write all this code in SQL prompt and check whether what kind of data it will return. See here. What is happening here? In loop. Okay, loop. With that, we have here we have a column, but it must be ended, right? So begin, right, fine. Control F, save, and then we have to exit. See, when we execute this, so this loop statement will fetch all the information one by one, because we are creating. So the first thing into CID, so that will be the we have printed here. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. Ram first name and last name is Sharma. Sharma is also printed, and Greater Noida is the address. So one by one we have printed all the information, right? Now, so you have to print all, just send me the code to, even you can copy this code and just try to print the first SSN number, first name, last name, address for employee working for department number 13. You just print the employee working for department number 13, their first name, last name, SSN, and their address. Kindly do it all and send me the code if you agree with this. Hello. हाँ, आप लोग कर रहे हैं। हमें आप लोग प्रिंट करके दिखाइए केवल वो इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रू द कर्सर जो कि डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 13 में काम कर रहे हैं। करिए सभी लोग। And see, this is very important topic, cursor. So this question must be asked like, what is the difference between the implicit cursor and explicit cursor? ठीक है, 2 marks. And one more, what are the different kinds of attribute associated with the cursor, right? Or how to use the explicit cursor? Explicit cursor के ऊपर आपको डिटेल देना है। ये क्वेश्चन लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन आंसर में भी पूछा गया हुआ है। इसी कोड को आप लोग जस्ट बताइए कहाँ पे चेंजेस करेंगे सो दैट इट विल जस्ट प्रिंट ओनली द डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 13 इंफॉर्मेशन। कौन बताएगा?
सर एक बार ही वो तो 13 वाली डिपार्टमेंट नंबर 13 वाली जो आपने प्रोग्राम बनाया था एसक्यूएल वो एक बार दिखा।
बस वही करेंगे, सिंपल सा। देखिए इसमें जस्ट चेंज करेंगे जहां पे हमने कहा कि सेलेक्ट स्टेटमेंट केवल क्या देता है कि नंबर ऑफ रोज, रिटर्न नंबर ऑफ रोज एंड दैट इज द एरिया, कॉन्टेक्स्ट एरिया। तो यहाँ पे हम क्या देते हैं? डी नंबर इक्वल टू 13, right? And we have to just save it and then we have to exit. Only 4 rows, right? देखिए जो पहले सारे रो 5 रोज थी वो सब में राम शर्मा भी थे, बट डिपार्टमेंट 13 में काम नहीं कर रहे थे। देखिए अर्लियर वी हैव सीन डिपार्टमेंट 11 में राम काम कर रहे थे, तो 13 में these four employees are working, like so Santosh, Geeta, Meenu. So this see, at last we have to serve Santosh, Geeta and Meenu, right? All these information are displayed here, right? Just so whatever the cursor, you have to allocate the area for which you want to create the space. So see here, जो आप करना चाहें यहाँ पे, अगर आपको और नेस्टेड क्वेरी लगाना चाहें तो आप नेस्टेड क्वेरी लगा लीजिए उतनी एरिया के लिए। उसके बाद आपके जब वेरिएबल आ जाएंगे उससे आप वर्क कर सकते हैं। सी अगर मैं इसी लूप को जस्ट लूप हटा देता हूँ, ठीक है, वी आर जस्ट इंसर्टिंग द लूप। अब आंसर आएगा? क्योंकि लूप नहीं लगा है तो जो हमारे पास पहला इंफॉर्मेशन था, ठीक है, 65412, right, that information will be printed because we have taken, there is no loop. So using the cursor you can just create that next information and so on, right? So this is all over for the cursor in today's lecture, and later on we discuss triggers. What are the triggers that will be used in the PL SQL? It's again very important topic, and whenever we do any operation like insert, delete, and update, how this syntax or other code will be automatically fired and uh, do some actions, right? So in next class we will discuss. Take care.